scammers for quick money to internet fraud, cultism, drug abuse, and violent crimes. We see a generation drifting excuse, or is it a deeper moral crisis? What roles should parents, schools, the church, and the government play in redirecting our youth? See your reflection. What story do you tell? Because the mirror stands to correct. When you stand in the mirror, you see things that are not properly done. That means you're correcting it. And the mirror starts the correction from the family. Because if we get our family well suited, we can get our society better. And that is why the mirror comes to you every Friday. I am Beauty Benjamin. I will reach to you from Rstv. You can watch us online at Rstv Online on Facebook and YouTube. You can send in your questions. You can DM us. You can follow our social medias all across. It will be displayed on the screen for you to follow. Now I have with me a very distinguished pioneer guest of the mirror. You know, when the mirror started years back, she was one of the persons we reached out to, and she came because she's passionate about how the family is rooted, what concerns the children, how the family should be built. And she's not just a person, a mentor, a teacher, she's a reverend. Someone I appreciate you. When we posted on Instagram, your comments, you're looking forward to hearing her speak. She's firebrand, I can assure you that. I want to do the honor. You will meet her soon. But don't forget that you can partner with us. You can sponsor. You can place your advert on this program. You can send your question, whether she's here or she's not here. She will answer your questions. All that you need to know. But are we taking responsibility for our doings? Where or what is happening with the parents and the children? Who is responsible? Who is holding front? So the future of tomorrow, because that's what we heard from the beginning. Come with me this morning as I meet our guest. I want to take time to call the name so that I don't mispronounce her surname. Let's meet Reverend CHRISTIE OGBEIFUN. Good morning, my good morning. It's good to have you.
Thank you very much. My privilege.
You seem to look younger every day. I was watching your is a clip of you that's been on social media for a while now. When you're talking about your marriage and all that, and I was watching with someone, and the person was like, "Is this story she's telling true? You come up and meet your husband." I was like, "It's very true." But you know what? If the Holy Spirit is inside of you, if you have God, He directs you, He tells you what to do. He knows the next step ahead of you. So what she was finding it very difficult to believe what you were saying was like, is this not, as he's not one of those pastors who come and tell you. So I was in Yellow Conference some months back, and she was talking about you. You know, we came to Owerri for a program, and she said, "Man, you cannot go without me stopping by and then blessing you." And she kept talking. I was just smiling. I said, "This man, you're just everywhere." And people are just talking about the truth. And I like it when there are lots of compromised pastors and reverends all over the country now. But in all of these circles I've been, I have not heard one compromising story. And so when we were watching that clip, and she was like, I find it hard to believe that someone will walk in, will travel and come back, and in a situation that you come, you're thinking, I said, but you're hearing it. And it's true, it happened. Because someone was directing you, the Holy Spirit was guiding and directing you. And day by day, you keep rapping and looking fine. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
As he played that clip we had before the pioneer set of the program is on social media, we play. But then again, let's have that clip now. This drug thing, it keeps recurring. And then we're saying the older ones are the ones who are having these issues. But today, we are looking at children who are 10 years. And I got so, when I watched that video, I got so frightened. I was like, 10 years? And when I called you, you said, that is still too old. I was someone when I was calling, I put the phone on speaker. A person was like, in this time, I said, you're hearing it. And I'm like, which way Nigeria? What are we looking at? How did we get here first before we talk about how we can leave this particular area? Listen.
Well, how did we get here is not one reason.
Okay.
It's many reasons. First of all, is the prevailing mindset over society that has shaped us to the point where drugs are commonplace, very available. Okay, that's one. Two is also the issue of trauma. One of the doorways to struggles is trauma. And if you look at young people today growing up in the society we're in, it's traumatic. It's traumatic. I mean, I give you an example. When I was a child, we used to play in the sand. We used to go outside, play in the sand, excite our minds, learn. When sand passed through your fingers, you thought, why is sand like this? Why is it not like concrete? What? And then the fresh air, you took in fresh air, you saw people, you related with people. Now, parents want their children to be occupied with something else so that they can do whatever they want to do. So they give them gadgets. And you find a child glued to a gadget from morning till night. The only time they are not looking at gadgets is probably when they are in school. But even in school now, there are gadgets. So the child is not making certain connections. And when they take that device, the child throws a tantrum. And then there's no parental connection, there's no human connection. Those things are forms of trauma. So that when they come out to the general public, they don't know how to relate. Because they don't know how to relate, other people will reject them or push them aside or fight them. Then it creates tension in the soul of the person, and they now go and start looking for coping mechanism. So it's not one reason that brought us here, it's many things at once. But I will say to you, one major thing is that our leadership is not paying attention to what is happening.
Because they're not involved. I brought a professor from here. There's supposed to be a drug testing in institutions now. And he said he will object to it until the leadership brings their children to our schools so they can be tested, and when they are being found wanting in the area, probable, the same thing you want to do to this woman's child, you do it to this leadership. So if you don't do that, don't.
When I say the leadership is not interested, the truth is that part of the reason is because the leadership themselves are involved in these lifestyles.
Yes.
So one, there is no moral courage to confront it. Two, if we stop the drugs from coming in, how do we get our own supply?
Wow.
So I'm telling you that in our rehab center, we've had the sons and the daughters of the high and the mighty. And we've had the sons and daughters of the poor. This thing does not respect status. In fact, the richer they are, the more expensive the kind of drugs they use. They are the cheap ones. They are even the ones that you can get for free. And maybe we'll talk about that when we start to, it's free, you don't have to spend money. Wow. So we'll talk about that, you know. But the truth is that many things brought us here. However, the biggest reason is our leaders are not understanding the implication of what is going on now down the road. That's why you're asking which way Nigeria. Our leaders don't have a picture of what is going to happen in the next 10 years with these people we're calling children now. And how that can come back to bite us in the backside.
It's only biting us.
So, it will bite more. Because I've tried many times, you know, doing drug awareness programs. I will reach out and reach out and reach out to our leaders, our government. Nobody will answer me.
Interesting.
Because what it means is that if they are going to be involved, they will have to bring the resources for us to use.
Yeah.
And they don't want that. They're looking for what will bring resources to them, not take resources from them. So they never respond. Never respond. I've never got a response. The one time I got a response, let me tell you what they did for me. I was doing a youth campaign. They gave me Civic Center hall. The hall, not the chairs, not the rug, not the fan, not the stage, just the hall. And the hall was the cheapest thing they could have given me in that whole setup of this research.
So what's the use of a government if the interest of the people is not your priority? Let's have that video so that Nigerians can see what we are talking about, because I kind of I agree with you now, because if I stop this thing from coming, how do I get my own? So for that, so now they want to do drug testing in university, partnering with NLDA. Now, how are they going to do that? Because if they are serious with themselves, so want to stop it, and then oftentimes when you see drugs, they say they'll show you and this and that, and then next thing they say they want to. Why don't we have a situation whereby you destroy it in the open? When I was growing up in the barracks, there used to be this public execution method the police use then. When you're a condemned criminal, the day of execution, they line them up, and then your family comes, and then you have a final say before they are being shot or strangled. Publicly. It's not as if they take them to somewhere and go and do it, people receive. But today we don't have that anymore. So even when they say this person has been condemned to this, we don't do it publicly. The next thing, that person will come up again. So these people who sell these drugs, are there no penalties for them? Because you're not saying that there's even the one for free. And I was wondering, now in the video, we see children who go to pick scrap and then sell. And then you as an adult, you're selling drugs to a 10-year-old child. What is wrong with you? What are you doing?
Our moral compass has broken. There is nothing measuring how bad we are. We have broken the compass. We don't have conscience. Man, there are some addicts that are legitimately so. Let me explain. I told you trauma is one of the reasons people go into addictions. It's trauma. Trauma can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be psychological, okay? So, we had a young man they brought to our rehab. He had an accident and his leg broke. The bone broke. That's trauma. That's physical trauma.
Yeah.
He was in so much pain. They now put him on a medical heroin. It's medical, but it's heroin. Heroin is one of the drugs they smoke on the streets.
Yes.
But there's a medical grade for pain control.
Yes, yes.
So that particular one is called pentazocine.
Okay.
They put him on pentazocine to help control the pain. By the time the pain got to a bearable level where they could give him other drugs, less addictive drugs, he was hooked on the heroin. So he left the hospital to go and start looking for heroin outside. Now, this medication pentazocine is not supposed to be sold without a prescription
from the doctor.
But there are whole pharmacies that their whole income is from pentazocine. They sell it to any and every. And they sell it in quantities that will scare you. They can sell a whole carton of 100 to somebody without knowing where it's going. Now, that young man told us that he used to work, a small work he would do. Then the money he gets from the work is earmarked. So he would buy, he never used to have too much money, so he would go and buy the 10 ampules he would use for that day.
For one day?
For one day, 10, he will keep it. As that one is finishing, by evening time, he's walking back to the pharmacy to buy the 10 for tomorrow. He was on 10, 11 ampules a day for about 3 years.
And they were selling it to him?
Every day, but he was not functioning. So somebody saw him, and his church was very, very helpful in church, very active. And the pastor said, no, you cannot be, God bless that pastor, you cannot be working so hard in church and be struggling like this. Everything you are bringing to the church looks tainted because your life is not together and you are declining. So we're going to help you. They brought him to the rehab. They paid for him. They paid for him. Today, when we go around to schools, to young people to talk to them, he goes with us to tell his story. So his own started from a legitimate place.
But that legitimate Did they have a dosage?
They
and
did.
a time frame?
Okay, so
Because some of these drugs have, okay,
if you
for
give
3
this
days,
sex, yes.
yeah, for 4 or 5 days and all that. So
when I had my last son, I was in a lot of pain because I had CS. Oh, I've seen this video. I had a lot of pain, and they put me on morphine, but they calibrated it such that I could press it. I had a drip. I could press it only every 8 minutes.
Okay.
After, once I press it, nothing is coming out of it again until those 8 minutes are up. By the second day, they took me off of it and started giving me another. But man, people are different. There is something called the addictive personality.
Okay.
Some people have it, some people don't. Some people have it for a certain drug, they don't have it for another.
Okay.
I will give you an example. My sister and I, my younger sister, I was about 9 and she was 7. We used to see them smoke and hold drink. It looked so glamorous, so we wanted to try it. We saw a cigarette that somebody smoked half and threw away. We took it and went and took my mother's matches, hid under the staircase of our block of flats, and we lit the cigarette. So as Nami senior now, Nami first, I do am as I see for TV. I coughed till I fell. I was choking. My sister said, while you are coughing, ma, try my own. She took, nothing happened. She finished that half stick of cigarette. It did not affect her. Now, do you know what happened? From that day, my sister could not stop smoking. She smoked till smoking killed her at 44.
Oh.
The side effects of smoking, she had all the lung issues. She died at 44. So she had the addictive personality, and I didn't. That's why I could walk away from cigarettes, and she couldn't. One time that she took, she was hooked. So that person you are talking about, that from a legitimate place, didn't the hospital have?
Yes,
they may have calibrated it right, but if he had an addictive personality, boom. Unfortunately, there is no barometer or sphygmomanometer that we can use to test who has the addictive personality until there's a problem. Then we realize, hey, this person has the addictive personality, which is why the biggest campaign is don't even start. Say no. Don't start, because you don't know. Some people take once and they're hooked. Like now, this one they are making in the lab, the ice, methamphetamine, they call it Mpumiri. Some people, one time use, you are hooked. Crack cocaine, one time use, you are hooked. It will be like you have been an addict for 10 years, the way to just take over the person. So personality will also play a role in how fast we become addicted. There are people that have been chewing in their hand for 30 years. They are not lost their minds. They are walking, they are normal. They don't have the addictive personality. And that's what deceives some people. They say, but Mr. Lagbaja has been using it for 20 years. Nothing happened to him. Why are you telling me? He does not have addictive personality. But that doesn't mean that there's no damage happening in him. It's just at a slower rate. Because all drugs damage the brain. That's what leads to the madness sometimes when people use substances.
And there are lots of them on the streets now.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, let's come down to those who sell. Like I had a guest here sometime. Those on the drug, those who dispense,
pharmaceutical companies.
Those who dispense. I say, I'm like, you are the one dispensing the drugs. Now, there was a particular drug I had to go and buy for my son. The doctor prescribed it. I had to go and buy it. I went to Ibis to buy it, and I was turned back. I have to bring
a prescription.
I called the doctor. She spoke to them. They say, yes, we know, we'll send your name. But we need a
the
hard
paper.
copy
You have a handwritten
for this drug.
Yeah.
I was so furious. But he said yes, that there is a reason for that. So I should go back to the hospital because she's in Jos.
Okay.
Go back to the clinic, and then when you get to the clinic, tell them to be paper. And when you get there out of what she consult with my son, she oversees my son. So okay, now the question is, isn't there a regulatory body? Because I know that pharmacies, they have this body that they go from time to time to check your drug deposit and this and that. Are they not functioning that a pharmacy will sell such drug to someone without prescription to that amount? Are they not regulatory body? Are they not doing their job, or are they being corporate? I don't know.
So There's a lot of compromise in the system. There's a lot of... Why do you think that several attempts were made on Dora Akunyili's life?
Yes.
Why do you think they wanted to kill her? Because she was checkmating some of those things.
Yes.
There's so many people that are complicit, from the highest echelons of government to the lowest people on the streets who are the foot soldiers. There's so much compromise. And once they catch one person, the next thing that happens, they have called somebody and the person will command, come on, release that person now. Otherwise. So it's a whole rot from top to bottom. Let me give you an instance. So a few years ago, the federal government and United Nations Office on Drug and Crime, UNODC, decided to collaborate and try and put a figure to drug users in Nigeria. So they appointed entities in every state to conduct the random sampling survey. All right, and our rehab center was the one that was conscripted to do that exercise. Now, before, we would sit in the rehab, they would bring the patients, but now we had to go to the bunks where the drugs are used to interview these people. Of course, they gave us small money to give them as incentive. So you will first approach the head of the bunk and appease him, then he will tell his people to come out to answer your questions. We were not supposed to ask them their names so that they can give honest answers.
Yeah.
While we were sitting in one of the areas where there is heavy drug use, I don't want to mention the name, we went there, we were interviewing them. Periodically, you will see some well-dressed guys, sharp-looking, clean, carrying their briefcases, and they will pass, because they are not going to let us enter inside the bunk. We have to stay at the entrance. They will pass with briefcase, looking like $1 million. After a while, I said to one of them, I said, hey, that must be, those must be the heavy buyers, Abi. Those must be the heavy buyers, Abi. They said, no, man. They said, these are the suppliers.
Suppliers.
I said, why do they look so good? He said, they have a code that governs their trade. Do not feed on the merchandise. So the people that sell don't take. They sell to others and destroy other lives. He said, don't feed on the merchandise. So I said, how are they able to get away with it? And one of the boys, his father used to be a commissioner in this state. He said to us, ma, presently, it is the people in government that are helping the trade. They facilitate the drugs coming in containers at the seaport. They facilitate the clearing. They take their own and then give to the distributors to distribute. So, ma, it was a shocking thing to hear. I was shocked. It was painful. Let me not say, I'm sorry if it may be going against ethics. But ma, the police will come there on a raid. You see everybody run. They'll catch a few. 5 minutes later, those few have come back. Why? They gave to them. They will smoke it and they will go. So,
let's go on it's too much to take in, because when I see these things and all those things, they are true, and we are asking, we grow up with leaders of tomorrow, future leaders of tomorrow. And who are the future leaders of tomorrow? These ones we saw on the screen now are the leaders of tomorrow. Are they truly the leader? These children, they are 10 years. Now, we'll let the video run so you can hear. Now, just go on a quick break, let this video run so you can hear them and then hear their ages and where they are carrying those stones on their head. Let's go on this quick break so the video can play. When we return, we'll get back to what the parents and what the church and how we can go about
who are into drugs at a very tender age. Well, as you can see, this information is coming from Abakpa town in Ogoja local government. Among us are 6 children from the neighborhood who are into drugs at a very tender age. At a very tender age, they are into drugs. The first person here is, what's your name? How old are you?
10 years.
What is the name of the drugs where they take?
Solution.
Solution. Who they give you money where they buy the solution?
The big iron.
You dey pick iron sell buy solution. You wetin be your name?
Success.
Success. How old you dey?
13.
13 years. Wetin be the name of the drugs wey you dey take?
Solution.
Solution. Where you dey get the money?
Pick iron.
Okay, they sell iron before you get the money. You, wetin be your name? Sit erect. Wetin be your name?
Divine.
Divine. How old are you?
12.
12 years old. Wetin be the name of the drugs wey you dey take? Solution. Who dey give you money wey buy am?
The pick iron.
Dey pick iron sell take am. You now, wetin be your name?
Favor.
Favor. How old are you?
13.
13 years. Wetin be the name of the drugs wey you dey take? Solution. Who dey give you money wey you dey take? Buy am. Huh?
They go work for wholesale.
They go work for wholesale. Which one? Where be wholesale again?
Buy fine.
So they pay you how much?
That they give me 700.
How much be the solution?
300.
So how much solution you dey buy?
Now
One
one.
now only if you buy am, now only you dey take am.
No.
Now you and who dey take am?
They give them. You see my friend and they give them.
Okay. You, wetin be your name?
Then they catch you.
How old you dey?
13.
Wetin be the name of the drugs wey you dey take?
Solution.
Which money? Who dey give you money wey you buy am?
Do mechanic.
They do mechanic. They learn where your shop dey.
What you do?
Okay. You, wetin be your name?
Kevin.
Kelvin. How old you dey?
14.
14 years. Wetin be the name of the drugs wey you dey take?
Solution.
Who dey give you money wey they use buy am?
I pick iron.
They sell iron use buy am. Then you, wetin be your name?
Patrick.
Patrick. How old are you? 15 years. Wetin be the name of the drugs wey you dey take? Solution and which one again? Huh?
Only solution.
Solution. How you dey take get money buy the solution?
When I don't say my mind.
Okay.
That I don't know.
So you who teach you how to dey take that solution? How you take? Huh?
Man of God.
Who be man of God?
Wait, go laugh.
Man of God. Who be man of God for Igolafo Kabe? Who know am? I mean our man of God here. That one when they do Yahoo.
No.
Okay, then we'll go bring that one. Then you, who teach you how to take the solution? Now who been the how you take no say then they take solution? How you take no before you can't go they buy them, and that how you take no? You know if you just did it one day just get all the take solution. How you take no say solution or something and they take? Okay, now for your place of work you can't no say solution, you can't they buy and they take. Then you, who teach you how to, who entice you, who bring you say may you can't they take solution or anything?
And that's when they bring up.
And this one they bring and can't give you now.
The first they bring up.
Now they bring him when be 10 years, now he can't turn the initiative when be 13 years. Then you, who teach you how to take her? That one. You, who teach you how to take her? Then you now when you teach these two, you, who teach you? Ikade. Where the Ikade they stay? They don't travel. Where you from? You from Ogoja here? Okay. Then you, who teach you? This one. Okay, as you can see here, among us are 7 children. The smallest one is this one, which is 10 years, and lo and behold, he's the one who introduced about 3 persons here to the drugs line, while this one is the one who introduced these 2, and the person who introduced him, as he claimed, is not around. He has traveled. So now we are going to send for the parents of these children. Let us know why they just gave birth to these children and throw them into the street to survive on their own. Neglect. So that is where we are going to start from. We'll get back to you.
To the program The Mirror with Beauty Benjamin, Rstv online on Facebook and YouTube. If you have watched that video, I'm so heartbroken.
Yeah.
Now, these are the first video I'm showing you when it comes to drugs. During the trafficking day for drug video, I showed you another one that is the one they take that they suspend themselves in the air like this, and I was like, those ones, the way they were adults who are responsible for their life. But just talking about children who are 10 years. The oldest child there is 14, right, 14. And then I don't know how this is affecting me so much, because if you go on the streets, you see people every day roaming the streets. in their most dangerous forms. And then we have governments, we have organizations, and we have people. Now, I decided to do this topic again. It's something that I won't stop talking about. As long as the mirror is existing and this platform is here, we'll keep talking about it until we have a solution. Or is it possible, is it not possible to have a solution to this problem?
There's got to be a strong moral will from government, from family, from church, from mosque. We did a drug campaign, and we did it in the town axis because there's so many bunks in the town axis.
Yeah.
When we got to Yam Zone, that's where the houses are. So everywhere we stopped, we had people speak in dialects.
Okay.
If we found out that there are many Yorubas there, somebody spoke Yoruba to them. If we found many Igbos, somebody spoke Igbo, Ibibio, like that. When we got to Yam Zone, I began to speak Hausa. When we finished, the imam of the mosque there, he asked for our number. I gave him the number. He called me later in the day. Imam was praying for me like a pastor will pray. He said, nobody has ever remembered us when this type of things are happening. But you did not only come, you spoke our language. He said, this thing is killing our children. This thing has finished our children all over. The ones in Port Harcourt, we saw them at Abonima Wharf. It's mostly northern boys there on the cheaper substances. And guess what they have used to help themselves? One of them said to me, ai Qur'ani bata ce, Qur'ani ta ce kar a sha giya na maye, Qur'ani bata ce kar a sha cocaine ba. He said that Quran said they should not drink alcohol, but Quran did not mention cocaine.
Are you saying
that's the legit, what the excuse that they are giving themselves,
making it illegal?
Yes,
that is right.
Qur'ani bata ce kar a taba cocaine ba ko kwa. Then I said to him, won't you get married? He said to me, why can never much about another one? I said, who needs a woman when I have this? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So there are many rationalizations. That's the word I was looking for. There are many rationalizations that allow people to use. So it does not respect religion. It does not respect status if you open the door. But we have to start from home.
Yes. And that's what the mirror is about, starting from the home.
Start from home. But you see, these children that we saw just now, if you go and scrutinize home for them, it is probably more traumatic to be at home than to be on the street doing this. Ma,
so where did it save?
People are having children without any plan for how those children will be raised, how those children will be balanced. They're just having children because now God give me, now God give me. There's no plan. One. Two, after having them, they're running around looking for how to feed them, and they leave them to their devices. These children are watching their age mates go to school, but they are not in school. They can't go to school. Why? No money. Okay, if there's no money, can you send these boys to go learn a trade? It's discipline. Discipline streamlines lives. Go and learn a trade. Sit under somebody. Ensure your child is there. Work with the person that you have given your child to teach that child the trade. It's not there. So these children are left to their devices. That is trauma, man. That is trauma. And out of that trauma, they have found something that helps them cope.
Solution.
You see this stone on their head? Yes, this is the community disciplining them, maybe to get them to talk. This is our way as Africans.
But it will not help.
It's not going to cure the problem that is already happening in the brain. These children need intervention now. They need a place where you can put them, separate them from the substance for some time, so their brain can begin to heal. Because right now, there is physical damage being done to brain cell matters. Brain cell matter. The brain is being eaten up like acid eats up skin. That's what this solution is doing in the brain. It's a matter of time. When enough brain matter has been eaten up, these children will become mad. They will lose touch with reality. Psychosis will set in. So, but there are no such facilities. I'm hoping for an opportunity to approach state governments. Can you leave a legacy of a system that helps children like this who are already struggling?
At the end of the program, we'll give room to you to recommend. You have been in this business and you know how it works. So we'll give room for you to counsel, recommend, so that the government, they are watching, so they know what to do to help the citizens of this state and this nation.
We need to step on this thing like yesterday. You know there's an opiate crisis in the US now. And you know the fallout. People who legitimately need the opiates for medical reasons are not having access. They've clamped down on everything. So people are suffering needlessly. People with cancer, people with sickle cell, people with painful diseases, lupus. No access to opiates. When they go to doctor is afraid to prescribe it because, hey, let them not come and collect my license. So people who need it don't have access to it. People are in agony. It will happen here. That's one. Two, most of the homeless people in the developed countries are also drug users. Why? The trauma of being homeless is driving them to find coping mechanisms, so they end up as addicts. The problem is compounded.
But why do they always end up with drugs? Can they end up with something else?
Because
traumatized, yes. And that's another thing you can end up with, because you know this phrase, you can't be there, join them. I hate it.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't want to join you. I want to beat you.
Man, the truth is we have somebody called the devil.
Yes.
He will offer you everything except what you need. What you need is God and the help of God. What you need is systems and support.
System that is working.
Yes, many people don't have access to that. So the easiest thing, the quickest thing to get quick relief, you know, the brain is a pleasure organ. Anything that will bring instant joy or pleasure is going for it. And that's what the drugs do. Just take this thing, you'll be fine. I have a young man who broke his clavicle. You can't put POP. So they only put a sling, but every movement hurt, and the bone wasn't healing well. It kept healing like this because there was nothing to stabilize it like this. 2 times they had to break the bone and set it. Nothing was happening. Somebody said to him, all this pain you are experiencing, just take this, it will help. Crack cocaine. And that was it. It took 10 years of that young man's life.
10 years.
10 years before he could get a grip on himself. Crack cocaine. He said when he took it, the pain relief was instant. That day, all the money in his account, he told the person, where did you get this thing? I want it. And he bought 2 million naira worth. He finished his money. Yes. Carried it. And that was 10 years of his life.
And they keep draining you.
Of course not.
You can't save.
People sell their houses. They smoke the value of a house in 2 days. Of a car, 4-wheel drive. Smoke it in 2 days. And these people, when you don't have money, they will call you. Come and take for free. I'll give you the first 50,000 naira on for free. Don't worry. By the time you take 50,000 naira on, you are back in the game. You will collect on credit. Then they will hold the people in the bunk until the family comes to pay. So families have paid millions for sons who are held, daughters who are held in the bunks. You pay, they come out, they go back. So some of them have started using it to control their family. Even when they haven't smoked on credit, they will go there and say, mommy, they are holding me. Daddy, they are holding me. You see the parents running around, family running around, trying to raise the money to go and get the person out of that place. It's so critical that home becomes a safe place for people, not just the children. There are women who are in their husband's house addicted. There are men who, because of the pressure of home, are addicted. They are all looking for coping mechanisms. And the most potent doorway through which these addictions come is family dysfunction. There are 4 doorways: ingratitude, the addictive society, trauma, and family dysfunction. Family dysfunction is the biggest doorway because the Bible talks about something in Ezekiel chapter 18 verse 2. He said, what is this proverb that you say in Israel? That the fathers have eaten sour grapes, but the children's teeth are set on edge. It's the fathers that did something, but children are paying for it. So sometimes it is the fathers that showed the example of addiction to children. The son of a smoker will almost invariably smoke. The daughter of a drinker will almost invariably drink. Why? It was their normal. It wasn't bad. It was normal. In fact, one boy said, I want to be exactly like my dad. Say, in what area? He said, my dad was a very, very fashionable smoker.
Fashionable.
I want to smoke like my dad. He was very classy.
Oh, wow.
So the model is important. What are we modeling in our homes? Nobody brings alcohol near my children. I fight. If they are adults and they go and take, it's their decision. But while they are growing up, no, don't bring it near. Why? Alcohol killed my whole family. Alcohol took my father, my brother, my sisters. So I don't allow that to come because I don't want the things that the fathers did to come and trip up the children. So we have to be careful what we're modeling in the home, what we're normalizing. One young man was talking. He said that his uncle came and took him to his girlfriend's house. And when the uncle came to pick him, he's 16. The uncle said, so what did you people do? He said, we talked. We laughed. That's all you did? I mean, you didn't get some? He said, some what?
Some what?
The uncle was telling you didn't get some? Wow. And they were going for a family gathering. When they got to the family gathering, the uncle stood in front of all the men and said, can you imagine? So-and-so went to see his girlfriend and all he did was talk. Boy, what's wrong with you? And all the uncles started laughing at him. He said they made it look bad that I didn't have sex with the girl.
At 16?
He said they made it look like that's what you do to be a man.
Wow.
He said, so I had to make the decision. No. But it was hard because they were shaming me for not doing bad. Do you see how society can shape a human being into doing wrong?
Of course.
Why will you be hailing a boy for sleeping with a girl at 16 when you should be flogging him? When you should be cautioning him?
You know that topic now, this thing now has better the topic in mind that I'm scouting for a guest. There is this trend now for younger children. This morning I watched in the Philippines where they are distributing condoms because the children are so, young children getting pregnant, and then the girls are now saying they rather want to have boys because the boys can offend, the boys don't get pregnant. So if they find out they are pregnant with a girl, they will remove it. They don't want to have girls. Now back home here, teenagers, young youth are beginning to put implants.
Yes, no plant in their arms, contraceptives, right?
Yes, and we were arguing about it. Somebody said parents are also supporting their children to do it. So why would parents support? I said, look, let me see from the angle of the parents. Since you cannot abstain because you have not taught your child, not to say train up a child the way you should do, and when he's grown, he won't depart. But since that has failed, because I have unparented parents parenting children. How you that you're not parented, how can you parent a child now? So we don't need children on the streets. You give birth, you dump them on the street, or you leave them in the hospitals, or they turn out to what we are seeing on air there. So rather, let me put the plants so that then you go, you can do anyhow. I'm like, the society is getting worse by the day.
How do you put contraceptives on a 12-year-old? You are disrupting everything hormonal in that child. That child is not fully developed.
So the hospital won't even do it. So I will need to bring, but the thing that they will decline to come. When you go now, you want to get from the hospital to you, okay, come. Even if they come, they will not say the truth. And me, I like to, let's deal with the truth so we can have solution.
The people who are putting those implants for children, I bet you they are charging 4 or 5 times what that thing should cost, and it's always about the money. There is a proverb that says, follow the money.
It's the money.
It's about the bottom line is profit.
And they justified it. In the group where I saw this thing now, it was the nurse who brought this. I brought this topic. I told me, you can talk about this on your program now. No, let's help the children. And someone asked, isn't that wrong to have these children do that? She said, What do you rather have? The child betting children at young age, dumping them at the trash bin or the hospitals and all that, than preventing it.
But you see, once that thing is there, what you have done is open the door on reckless promiscuity.
Exactly.
Reckless, because now there are no consequences.
Yes.
And any society that removes consequences is going to go into chaos. That's what is happening in our system. Let me explain. If you go to the Western world, people obey traffic lights, people obey stop signs, people obey stop limits. In a state like Massachusetts in the US, they have cameras everywhere, so people obey. In a place like Texas, they don't really have cameras. The reckless driving there. Human beings are human beings anyway. So why is it that people obey traffic rules there? Because there are consequences.
Someone is watching.
Someone is watching. There is police on bike. There is police with vehicle. If you commit a crime, 40 police vehicles can appear from different angles and block it. There are consequences and they are immediate. If you argue it's not me, they will give you photograph of your car and the day that you beat the speed limit and where you did it with the time. You can't argue. So people behave there. Here, there are laws. You are asking, are there no governing bodies? They are there, but the law is not enforced. Consequences are not meted out. I mean, we heard about the guy that was sent to prison, only for it to turn out that he was never in prison. Somebody compromised and allowed him to stay in a flat. So these are the intricate, that's why I told you, how did we get here is not one single thing. It's so many things at once. God is beginning to raise people with a conscience in this country. And they are beginning to make difference in small pockets. But very soon they are going to come together, and then the effect of the difference they are making will start being felt. I thank God, even NDLEA has begun to do some fantastic things. What is that? Before, they just carry children, put them in NDLEA, finish. But now, NDLEA has begun, for the past 6 years or so, systematically training their staff professionally how to handle drug addicts. Okay. So it's not just punitive, arrest. NDLEA centers now have qualified mental health professionals, qualified drug addiction professionals. Okay. Amazing. That is a good start. And they are building up their centers decently now.
I think I would like to have one of them so we can continue on this now. Now, one of the this scene of this program is time. That my time. But before we let you go now, let's see, what do you think we can do? What is your word for the government? What is state government, other states watching? We are streaming online, we are on YouTube and Facebook, who are watching. What parents, what's the way forward?
To any leader in government for whom leaving a legacy is important, because not everybody who is in government wants to leave a legacy. Some people don't care. But if you are in government and you want to leave a legacy, this is one of the things you can do that you will forever remain relevant in the lives of people and make a difference, a lasting difference. Okay. Every state government should aim to build a proper drug rehabilitation center, not center for mad people, not camp for the insane, no, rehabilitation center. Equip it with well-trained professionals. Attached to the rehab center, vocational training center, especially for those who didn't go to school, so that they can learn a skill while they are in the center. Equip it in such a way that it is a system. So there is the rehab, then there's the skill acquisition, and then there is the education. Okay. In the 3 months they are there, you can excite their minds to want to go back to school. When they leave rehab, they're chasing school. Or they can find out that they have a flair for certain skills. It's learned in the skill acquisition center. Okay. Put a little farm by the side. There are some that will find out that they have green fingers. Put animals, animal therapy. There are some that will find out that I can do poultry, I can do fishery, I can make it a whole ecosystem by itself. A system by itself, a self-sustaining system. Everything is there. By the time those children come out of there, if you do badly, you will save 50%. Okay. That's a huge I have proof. That's why I'm saying it.
Okay.
In our small center, the number of lives. My daughter was telling me today, that same clip you saw, that somebody was saying, is she really telling the truth? People were making the comments. People were saying all kinds of things. Then she said she saw one comment and she started shouting, no way. The person said, everything that woman is saying is true. Do you know why I know? I was a patient in her rehab. Look at me today. I know these stories firsthand. I know that woman. This is the name of her rehabilitation center. He called the name. He said, I was patient there. This is my name. And people started saying, can you give us the name of the rehab center? Can you give us the name of... I don't know who that person is. She couldn't remember the name. But do you know how I felt? That somebody who came to us drug addicted and out of his mind is now defending my story for me. That's legacy. That's legacy. So every state can do that. Build a center. Make sure it is properly run. Put a law in place that ensures that that place does not get shut down with the next government.
Okay.
So the place is governed by a law that has been passed by the assembly. So it perpetually runs. It's funded. If you like, make it a joint thing with foreign aid. So the aid sustains it, even if the new government doesn't come and put money. The thing coming from the foreign side can sustain it. Do that. You will save many, especially for the poor ones. Rich people can go to rehab, poor people cannot, because they can't afford it. So let the government subsidize it. If it is in Rivers State, all Rivers indigents go for free. But people from other states who live here that can't go back to their state, you pay.
Okay.
So you take from there and you add to the funding that you have. There are ways to do these things.
Wow. If you're here watching, you're there watching, you can agree with when I told you that my guest was loaded. I wasn't making a mistake. And it would be sweet. I mean, let me call out the name of our center to you so that if you're out there, you need this help. You go to 180 Degrees Rehab Center here in Port Harcourt. You can get in touch with me, DM me for further details. Get in touch with me on our social media, send a DM, and I'll give you further direction to get to us. Now, if you have someone, don't leave that person on the streets. I mean, let the love of God, will speak through you. You've heard stories. When I knew about her, we had not met years back before I got married, where I was working, and my boss's son was brought from US, had a drug case. I've not mentioned it to her, and he was taken there. That was when I knew about it. So years later, when I got into this business, I got to know her. Then we started doing this together. So I can tell you for free that if you bring someone, take someone down there, the person can't go back the same way. Now, before I leave you, let me leave this Sonny say, look, Sonny Okoso once asked in a standard song, which way Nigeria? Decades later, the question is even more urgent. If today's youth are lost to crime, what hope does tomorrow's Nigeria hold? That is for us to ask. That is for us to answer. Let us sit down and put our heads together, put our family together. If your family is in check, we can get a better society. And don't forget that 180 Degrees Rehab Center is here to aid you. Thank you for watching, for staying with us for this week episode of Mirror with Beauty Benjamin, Which Way Nigeria Future. Now, you can always watch this program every Friday at 10 o'clock on the station or online. Send in your questions, send in your comments, your likes and all that. Follow us on all our social media handles, and we'll be here to serve you. Next week, another interesting episode we brought to you. Thanks so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You did more than I expected, and like Oliver Twist, I will always come back for more, because there are a lot of things that I know we can talk about, and you're versatile in all of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for my crew, thank you so much, Donny Gregory, for doing this wonderful work. Thank you, Inga, the cameraman. Thank you for always standing by and making us beautiful on air. We appreciate you. Have a lovely holiday.